Hey, what is going on everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Now, this is a video that I've been putting off for a while because I know it's going to cause issues, so just let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. Now, Gaijin has been for a while promising us detailed helicopter damage models, but they kind of really messed up. So we're going to just talk about this in particular and just talk about what they've actually done wrong, but this is a change that's needed, just not in this way. So they're talking about they've continued to introduce some of the features planned in the roadmap set out for the beginning of the year, and today they're pleased to announce with the release of the Dance of Dragons update, helicopter damage models are now more detailed. This is not a bad thing, but the way they implemented this is a bad thing. So hear me out. New damage models have been added to the Ka-52 and Apache helicopters. Each module is responsible for a specific set of functions on the helicopter's electronic equipment. The list of added modules include flight control panels, an electro-optical station, a radar, avionic blocks, and IRCM blocks. So the issue is with how Gaijin's made this is if you're hit at all, it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So example, say I were to hit this Ka-52, I don't know, right here and take out electronical stuff. It now can't shoot any of its weapons. And the issue with the Apache is whenever you take out the gunner, all of your weapons are useless. I didn't even realize about this until just now, which is why I'm making a video about it. After flying some helicopters around and realizing how bad it was, the Apache, this is a very easy Google search to be proved. The Apache's gunner, if say he was injured or killed in combat, the pilot can still use weapons. Now, I know on older models you couldn't use the gun, but you could take over Hellfires, and newer models you can use the gun. But in the game, if you lose your gunner, you can't shoot any weapons. Your helicopter becomes utterly useless. So this is a good change, but they need to rework it by quite a bit. So they go here, weapon control, NVD sensors, MFD HUD, guided weapon control, and IRCM. Submodules can be responsible for multiple functions at once, and multiple modules can be responsible for the same function. For example, both the flight control panels and avionic blocks are responsible for the use of weapon control. This does not make sense. This really does not make sense. If you're shot here, and you're damaged in your tail and you lose your avionics, you should still be able to use the rudimentary weapons like rockets. This doesn't make sense. And also, if a missile, or not a missile, say just a tank shell, comes right through here and takes out my flight controls, I would like to assume that in the game my helicopter would just fall out of the sky. No, not able to control the aircraft. That is how it should be set up, and that's how I personally still think it should be set up. Because just losing your weapons for getting hit with a 7.62 is absolutely stupid. I don't have footage of testing this, but if it's needed and there's enough want, I will go into a more depth video testing it when I get back from my trip. And what I found with the buddy is when we were shooting just at his Huey, a single 7.62 hitting him in the tail would mean he couldn't use any of his weapons. It is absolutely stupid. Now they're showing here that in the X-ray you can look at the avionics block and it'll tell you what cannot be used if it is damaged, and it's just really dumb. And module for other helicopters that are staying here, as for fitting for remaining helicopters with modules, those already in the game will be given modules gradually with the release of subsequent updates, as we're going to be looking at onboard systems for each of them and make changes to the models. New helicopters that are added will be introduced with a full set of modules right away. Maybe we're going to be getting new helicopters, I don't know. They're talking about how does disabling modules work. Let's talk about disabling systems. For helicopters that have new modules, it's quite simple. Each system can be disabled either by the complete destruction of the module or by damaging it, with a certain chance depending on the type of and amount of damage. So it seems like it's a chance system. That doesn't make sense. Meaning, if this, like again, I find it very stupid that being shot in the tail can mean complete loss of your weapons. It isn't realistic. And again, being shot in the control panel should subsequently lead to complete loss of the aircraft and crashing. In the damage model of helicopters that didn't have a new module added, all onboard systems are included in the fuselage damage model. If this is damaged, all avionic functions may also be disrupted. This doesn't really make sense. Like, update tail destruction conditions. Previously, helicopter tails could only be torn off by various means of hits, but not by collisions with anything else. That's not true at all. I've torn my tail off of a tree multiple times. It is important to note that even though the ground obviously has 100% efficiency against aircraft, it's not considered a specialized means of destruction. At least it wasn't considered such in the game until now. That doesn't really make sense. However, since a bump, even in the hull of a helicopter, can quite easily cause damage to the instruments and elements inside, could lead to damage of the tail or even being it ripped off. That doesn't... So now if you touch the ground, your tail might just fall off. That's really, really a great change, Gaijin. This will minimize the number of successful takeoffs after very hard bumps against the ground. Okay, so I mean... I don't really think your tail would just fall off if I bumped the ground. It really doesn't make sense. Like, I mean, this part's cool. For example, the center of gravity of a helicopter shifts forward. So, I mean, neat for the Ka 50 and Ka 52. But otherwise, that's just going to cause you in a spin. You're going to die in that situation. Especially in a Black Hawk or an Apache. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. This is a change that is needed. This is a needed change. But with the way they added it, it's ruined helicopters. Literally ruined them. I will not be playing helicopters until they fix it. It's quite upsetting. If there's enough hate in the comments saying that this isn't a true thing, I will make a video showing and actually testing with how you just lose weapons when being hit. I'm hoping that it'll be changed. If you guys don't believe me, it's real simple. Just take a M22 and a Black Hawk, go in a custom battle with a buddy, have them machine gun your tail or machine gun anywhere, lose your gunner, and then suddenly you can't use any weapon systems at all. Even though within doing 2 minutes of research and already previously known knowledge, the Apache can fire weapon systems with just the pilot. Gaijin, this is a needed change. I'm not saying this isn't needed. Helicopter systems have been bugged and broken for a long time. This change was absolutely terrible, ruined helicopters. That's really going to be it for this one. Please let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this damage model, and if you think it's a good change or a bad change, and how it can be redone to make it even better. But please, please, please keep it civil in the comments. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.